Hello everybody and welcome to Daytona Sandown Park for the penultimate round of the inaugural Jamie Chadwick Series season. We're following the 4-stroke final today, 15 minutes of racing ahead of us, and well, not only is the round wide open, but the championship is looking very interesting as well. Our pole sitter Lily Jeffs has taken sweeps in each of the last 2 rounds. Alyona Nikolaeva will be alongside Lilia Scatchard and Wroe, 2 drivers in and around that top 10 inside of these championship standings. We'll be keeping a keen eye on their battle with Emily Lloyd and Lucie Shuckford making up the rest of your top 6. Keira Boylan and Amelia Charlesworth start alongside each other on row 4 of the grid, which is particularly interesting because Amelia is well and truly in contention for a podium spot at the end of this round, so she's got some work to do if she wants to be on that podium at the end of the day. The rest of your top 10 is made up by Emma Rabbage and Catherine Shea, Sophie Carter and Claire Mayhew on row 6 of the grid. Keira Harris is just behind, sharing row 7 with Rebecca Boylan. Zoe Lang, a Sandown Park regular, is alongside Brooke Bannister on row 8 of the grid. Another Sandown Park Super Champs regular, Chloe McAnally, is on row 9 alongside Katie Ship, with Tabitha Mellor and Amelia Johnston, row 10. Just outside the top 20 is Olivia Murphy in 21st position. She starts alongside Chloe Leicester on the 11th row of the grid. Rayhana Abdurazak is in 23rd position with Amelia Hill alongside her on row 12 of the grid. Katie Harmer and Emma Wooding-Jones on row 13. Susanna Michalowska is 27th with Clara Hendry in 28th position at the start of this race. The green flag is in the air and it's a fantastic start from the second row of the grid for Lilia Scatchard, who, as we see the shot on board with Alyona Nikolaeva, is able to get into second position. Now Zoe Lang starting in 15th position is 3 wide. Keira Harris in the middle of that sandwich as everyone makes their way in to Vale with 5 wide. In the background, really, we want to see the leaders as Lilia Scatchard gets into second position. Alyona Nikolaeva will try and get back as Zoe Lang was up 2 positions, ends up in 16th position, almost getting herself spun around, is righted in the end with yellow flags flying at turn 3, I believe that is. Someone has not got it perfect on this first lap. Amelia Charlesworth will ride on board with a driver that started in 8th position, has got Lucie Shuckford on the inside line. That means Charlesworth is down into 9th temporarily, is on the outside into turn 6 and will squeeze into 8th position. A nice little defence from Charlesworth, all things considered, as we get to the end of the first lap of the race. It's Lily Jeffs out in front. However, Lilia Scatchard now looks for second position. You see further behind Wroe, who's currently sitting in 3rd in the championship, looks to go to the inside line, can't quite find her way through. Now will hit the brakes. This is Emily Lloyd she's battling with as we see the onboard with Charlesworth of the scrap. Lloyd is on the inside line. There's slight banging of wheels between the two of them, gives Wroe the chance to go to the inside line as we see now the run that she's got into turn 4, though isn't quite able to get alongside on the exit. Lloyd goes a little bit deep. That gives Charlesworth the opportunity as Wroe tries to set herself up for a move at the top of your picture. You saw very briefly Emma Rabbage trying to make a move. Here's Alyona Nikolaeva struggling to get past the lap traffic of Emma Wooding-Jones. Of course, Emma does not have to let her through. That's the crucial thing. So with 16 laps to go in the race, we can see that the guys that were caught up in that incident at the very start of the race suddenly getting involved in the battle at the front of the field. It's Emma Wooding-Jones. You're watching Keira Harris try and get past. She's on the outside line. Catherine Shea goes to the inside line. Sophie Carter disappearing down the road. And it's a similar story for the guys at the front of the field, as you see Alyona Nikolaeva, who's trying to get through on Katie Harmer through turn 3, goes to the inside line. That will give Lilia Scatchard the run all of a sudden into turn 4, and Alyona just about defends. It's so close. Will they give any opportunities for drivers further behind? Let's wait and see as they snake their way through turn 5. Keira Boylan all up on the high side of the racetrack. That's not ideal at all. Emma Rabbage on the outside line. Charlesworth goes to the inside of Katie Harmer, will find her way through, but Emma Rabbage continues to stalk this battle. She goes now to the outside line, trying to take advantage of that back marker traffic, and does. Gets alongside Amelia Charlesworth. Would be a sensational move if she's able to pull it off, but I think Charlesworth just got the better exit, had the better straight line speed, and was able to get through and stay through into turn 1. In the background, you can see Wroe is having a very tricky time keeping one of the TRX drivers behind her. as there's a spinner, and Rihanna gets very, very close to actually collecting Katie Harmer, who spun around when she was getting past, as now Zuzana just ahead of that driver. We'll see if maybe there's going to be a battle unfolding there. They looked pretty line of stern as they made their way back through. Here are the front runners once again, and Amelia Charlesworth still putting pressure on Emma Rabbage, who has now managed to get herself through in the second half of that lap. 14 to go in the race, of course. We can go back to Rihanna on the end of this lap as she gets herself into 18th position. A really nice move into turn 7. Now looking to make it 2 in 2 corners, this time on the inside of Zuzana Mikulowska, and finds her way through, but I think it's going to wave Zuzana back through as she feels there is a little bit of a bump there. Further forward, Keira Harris started 13th position, has now got Sophie Carter in her sights and is very quick to dispatch Sophie Carter and get herself into 9th position, but goes a little bit deep into the corner. That gives Carter the run back on the inside, and a little bit of frustration from Harris as she knows that was her mistake, really. Here's Zoe Liang then into the same corner, turn at number 4, down the inside into 12th position after that disappointment on at the first lap, making a very assured recovery so far. Still plenty of running to do in this race as we see spinners into turn 4. That's at the rear of the field. We can turn our attention back to the front of the field, where you see Lilia Scatchard, that little dot in 3rd position at the moment, is looking to make it 2nd position. Alyona will not defend into turn 1. It's not a great overtaking opportunity. They all check up through Vale Corner, and now we'll hit the brakes into turn 2. This will be interesting. There goes Keira Boylan. Opportunistic move for her. Lilia Scatchard didn't see her coming, was so focused on getting 2nd position that it allowed Keira Boylan to take advantage, and she now moves in to 2nd. Further behind, you can see the field sorting itself out as Keira Harris has now got herself past Sophie Carter. Let's ride back on board with Amelia Charlesworth. Her battle with Emma Rabbage has continued throughout all of this race so far, and now Rabbage doesn't get a great exit out of turn 5. That almost gave Charlesworth a chance to get back through, but she's ultimately unable. Now, watching this battle, car number 14, Emily Johnston, as Sophie Carter goes down the inside of Keira Harris. Zoe Liang goes down the inside of Johnston, finds her way through. Sophie Carter making progress as well. That's slightly frustrating for Harris, who now falls down 1 position. But Sophie Carter happy to get herself into the top 10 spots for now, as there was side-by-side action at the front of the field very briefly, as you saw Keira Boylan looking to make more moves forward, this time on Alyona Nikolaeva as she looks to the outside line. Nikolaeva defends into turn 7 once again. Lilia Scatchard still well and truly involved in this battle. Their battling might just allow the guys behind in Emma Rabbage and Amelia Charlesworth to catch up to them and find their way through as well. We'll wait and see, as this is as close as it has been. They make their way down the main straight, the longest straight here at Daytona Sandown Park, and down the inside goes Boylan on Alyona Nikolaeva, trying to get this done into turn 2. It'll be last of the late breakers, and it's Boylan who gets through into 2nd position. Nikolaeva comes back at it though, dives down the inside line. Somehow they don't make contact. Boylan's all over the curbs on driver's right. Nikolaeva is back into 2nd position. That is a fantastic piece of racing from those two drivers. And it's not quite over yet either, because Lilia Scatchard is still involved here. This train of about 10 karts all battling for the podium positions. Into turn 7 they go. Will there be any moves in the background? Don't think so. Don't think just yet, as maybe Boylan looks for it into turn 8, thinks better of it, rather sensibly so. And that is Alyona Nikolaeva back into 2nd position. Crucial for her championship hunt, just 3 points ahead of Chloe McAnally. Moving to lap 12 of the race, we see Keira Boylan back down the inside of Alyona Nikolaeva, able to get through into Vale. A favoured move for the drivers in this race, but Alyona's not done just yet. Dives to the inside line, bit of a bump and pass. That might be a penalty at the end of the race. We'll wait and see. Now Charlesworth dives down the inside line, locks up brakes, careers into Keira Boylan, has to let Emma Rabbage back through for fear of getting a penalty there, of course. And now Zoe Liang overtaken into P12, but still very good recovery drive back down the inside into turn 4. She goes and into P11. So just 5 laps to go in the race, and the podium still undecided. On board with Amelia Charlesworth, we see Lilia Scatchard go round. That's dramatic towards the end of the race. Charlesworth tries to capitalise on it as she goes around the outside of Keira Boylan, but Boylan holds on to the 5th position. Charlesworth settling for 6th at the moment, but as we watch a replay we can see what happened to Lilia Scatchard here, and I think she just understeers a little bit into the lapped kart that was on her outside line. No one really at fault there, just an unfortunate incident that takes Lilia Scatchard out of contention for now as Charlesworth goes to the inside line looking for 5th position back and gains it back. A really nicely made move into Vale, seen that so many times today, and it does do Keira Boylan's top 3 hopes in this round a little bit of damage. She'll be trying to get that position back, I'm sure. Watching a battle into Vale for the top 10 positions, as you can see there on the inside goes Emily Lloyd. Keira Harris on board with her, capitalises on Lloyd going deep into 9th position from 13th on the grid. A really nice move for her, and I think Emily Lloyd will be slightly frustrated as she is looking back to the outside line into turn 4. That won't be particularly fruitful for her, and isn't. And it looks like Keira Harris is pretty settled in that 9th position for the time being, probably keeping her eyes forward, hoping that maybe there can be a sniff of a top 7 hit towards the end of this race, but time is running out. Deep into the penultimate lap of this race, and Zoe Lang is looking to attack Keira Harris, who doesn't know where she is. To the inside line she goes, looking for Keira Harris, maybe looking for 9th position on Emily Lloyd. Can't quite get either, as Harris just carries more speed on the outside line, and Zoe Lang so far settling for 11th position. Will she settle for long though, as into turn 6 an opportunistic move opens up, but turns out to be just a little bit too speculative for Zoe Lang, and she'll be hoping that she can get that 10th slot in the final lap of the race. Let's wait and see. White flag in the air. Amelia Charlesworth on the inside of Emma Rabbage. There's contact and Rabbage goes round the podium dream over for now. Race control rule it a racing incident. Think they were both alongside into the corner, both going for the same space, but it does open up the opportunity now for Keira Boylan to get back into those top 3 spaces. Charlesworth defends for now, defends very bravely indeed. Here goes Keira Boylan on the inside line. Ella Wroe is involved as well in the final lap of the race. Ella Wroe goes through, Keira Boylan goes through as well. Now Ella Wroe looking for 3rd position on the outside line. Amelia Charlesworth is on the inside into turn 5, as now in the background we've got even more karts getting involved. We'll focus on that 3rd spot as Lilia Jeffs comes home for the victory. Alyona Nikolaeva into 2nd position. Let's wait and see into the final corner. Can Amelia Charlesworth make a move? She can't. It's Keira Boylan who holds on to 3rd. A fantastic scrap between all those drivers and a fantastic finale here in round 7. So we can take a look at your finishing grid after what can only be described as a chaotic final race in SODI class at Daytona Sandown Park. And Lilia Jeffs takes a really fantastic and dominant victory, enough to mathematically wrap up the championship. So a really productive day for her. This is with penalties applied, of course. Amelia Charlesworth finishes in 2nd position, with Alyona Nikolaeva making up the rest of your top 3. The top 5 is rounded out by Keira Boylan and Ella Wroe, 2 drivers well and truly in the contention for those podium spots towards the end of that race, but having to settle for a top 5. Still a fantastic haul of points, of course. Lucie Shuckford is in 6th position, exactly where she started on the grid, so despite all the battling in the race, no progress is made at the end of it. Sophie Carter's in at 7th position. That's a few spots up from where she started in 11th position. Emily Lloyd, Keira Harris and Emma Rabbage, the top 10. Of course, desperately sorry for Emma Rabbage, who was involved in that instant on the final lap. Could have been so much more. Zoe Lang makes a respectable recovery drive after almost facing the wrong way into turn 3 on the first lap. Emily Johnston is in 12th position. It's frustration for Lilia Scatchard, another driver who should have really been in that top 3, got unlucky with that back marker halfway through the race and finishes in 13th position. Again, point system quite forgiving here, so she gets a good few points on the board as well in her quest for a top 3 finish. Brooke Bannister and Rebecca Boylan are the rest of your top 50. Katie Shipp is in 16th position, with Ray Hannah finishing in 17th. Catherine Shea and Zuzana Mikalaska are 18th and 19th, with Chloe McAnally in 20th. Olivia Murfitt finishes in 21st position, with Clara Hendry and Claire Mayhew having an exciting scrap further behind in 22nd and 23rd. Tabitha Meller is 24th. Chloe Leicester finishes in 25th position, with Amelia Hill in 26th. Wooding Jones and Katie Harmer will have to look back on what could have been involved in that incident on the first lap of the race. Still setting some very good lap times in 27th and 28th. Join us on the 14th of December for the season finale at Daytona Milton Keynes. We'll see you then.